Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again for joining us on this historic opening night. Welcome to Akins Ford Arena. Tonight's matchup features the Mississippi Seawolves and your Athens Rock Lobsters. I'm Joe Dennis, and the countdown to puck drop is officially underway. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives at Piedmont Athens Regional as the official medical
For the first time in history, we can hear Crustacean Nation in full voice as they've packed out the Akins Ford Arena for a Friday night fight against the Mississippi Seawolves. Will the claws of the Rock Lobster faithful be raised highest tonight, or will the Seawolves ruin a classic city party? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Akins Ford Arena in Athens, Georgia for the first ever home game for the Athens Rock Lobsters as they take on the Mississippi Seawolves. Matt Gene Rad bringing you all of the action live on the Athens Rock Lobster Network, which is lighting up YouTube and now the airwaves on WGAU 98.7 FM and AM 1340. We get right into the proceedings with the Piedmont Athens Regional pregame show. The Rock Lobsters were handed their first convincing defeat last game against the Carolina Thunderbirds, falling 6-2 in Winston-Salem. Athens didn't go home completely empty-handed as they avoided the shutout with 2 late goals from Joe Colatarsi and Brandon Picard. However, the story on everyone's mind was not really the loss. It's been the stop-start entry into this world-class arena that we have here in the Classic City. It was supposed to be a party last Friday night, but the festivities would ultimately be delayed due to inspection issues. That would put a hamper on the team as they have only played 2 games over the last 4 weeks. Another 2-week layoff leads us to this game against a fellow Continental Division team. We'll take a look at the standings really quick. As you can see, the Mississippi Seawolves right behind the Athens Rock Lobsters in the Continental standings, but the Rock Lobsters have played 6 less games. A big point of contention there, of course, with the lack of play that the Rock Lobsters have had in the month of November. But with 11 games, the Rock Lobsters have 9 wins and 2 losses. For those of you who are feasting your eyes on the Rock Lobsters for the very first time, much of the success for the team this season can be attributed to the veteran leadership. It starts at the very top with head coach and former NHLer Steve Martinson, who brings with him more than 1,100 wins to his name. No other U.S.-born coach has more pro wins. It doesn't end there, as Captain Carter Shinkarik and player coach Garrett Milan have been a huge part of the offensive success, and they've been no stranger to a breathtaking moment. If you're looking to get excited by the young guys, Kason Gallant has been making a name for himself, and it's a duly important night for the Alberta native as he celebrates his 25th birthday. He's had some clutch moments, and they've been necessary this season as the Rock Lobsters have come to be known as the cardiac crustaceans this year. Of their 9 wins, 5 have come through overtime or shootout. Kason Gallant had played a part in sending a game to overtime in Columbus. Let's take a look at our Fan Saves impact players of the game. First, for the Mississippi Seawolves, we look at the man in 96, Blake Keller. The forward from St. Cloud is having a great start to his pro career with 5 goals and 4 assists for a team-leading 9 points. And for the Rock Lobsters, it's going to be Carter Shinkarik, the Athens captain, gets to play in front of his home fans for the very first time and gets to show them just how different of a D-man he is. You might hear about D-men that play a quarterback role in the power play. He has the skill to kind of play that role even in even strength. Our impact players are brought to you by Fan Saves. Download the Fan Saves app to access exclusive deals from our partners. For example, you can log in now and get a free basket of fries from Farm Burger. Download Fan Saves and follow the Athens Rock Lobsters to check out the Rock Lobsters digital coupon book. And now it's time for the first ever starting lineup at Akins Ford Arena, and it's brought to you by Akins Ford. Before that, though, we will have the national anthem here for the first ever singing of our country's anthem here at Akins Ford Arena.
Brett joined the FPHL officiating supervisor staff at the start of the 23-24 season. Rutherford served as an officiating supervisor at the collegiate level for nearly 25 years, including 12 seasons with the CCHA and 2 with the WCHA. He was a non-ice official at the NCAA for 20 seasons. He was a referee for 18 seasons, splitting his time.
An explanation of the resume of Brett Rutherford, who they're commemorating here tonight.
During his time as a non-ice referee, Rutherford was selected to work the playoffs in 12 straight seasons while advancing to
an on-ice referee in this league.
Tournament twice. Rutherford is survived by his sister Ellen and brothers Joseph and Kevin, as well as nieces and nephews. Please join us as we take this.
And now a moment of silence here in the arena.
Remembrance of Brett Rutherford. Thank you.
A special moment commemorating a former official in this league.
Ladies and gentlemen,
may he rest in peace.
And turn your attention to
And
the
now it's
south
time
ring as Elliott
for the national anthem and a special treat right after that, I believe, with the puck drop. Can't wait for that one. As you can see, officials here in the arena tonight commemorating our nation and displaying the colors. It is so great to see this arena packed up. The first ever national anthem in Akins Ford Arena, and that leads us right into the Akins Ford starting lineups. Justin Portillo joins the top line once again. Garrett Milan centers the line with Malik Johnson on his left. Carter Shinkarik and Riley Robertson, the starting D pair, and Jack Bostedt gets the start between the pipes. The team doctor for the Rock Lobsters is Dr. Alec Graff. For the Seawolves, it's the line of Noah Hippolyte-Smith, Brendan Hussey, and Chuck Costello. Sam Turner and Andrew Stacy, the D pair, and Ed Coffey in net. The starting lineup is brought to you by Akins Ford, the largest Ford dealership in Georgia, and that has been our Piedmont Athens Regional pregame show. Piedmont, real change lives here. And it is time for the commemorative puck drop here. And Dr. Graff, the team physician, who we read in our starting lineup, making his way to the ice for the commemorative puck drop. Between Carter Shinkarik and Sam Turner. Very interesting that the captain, Justin Barr, was just left off the roster for this weekend, according to some sources. Multiple people dropping the puck tonight. A very special occasion and a lot of special people in the building, including the mayor of Athens, Kelly Gertz, who was welcomed with applause here in the arena. WGAU and W254CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. We are so thankful to be on the airwaves tonight. Thank you to 98.7 FM WGAU, also on AM 1340. So there are multiple ways for you to stay up to date with all things Athens Rock Lobsters. Just moments away from puck drop here as we continue with the pregame proceedings before tonight's game. And now everyone on their feet. How about this? The fans of this new franchise named it the Athens Rock Lobsters in commemoration of a hit song by the B-52s. And here are the B-52s with the puck drop. How special is that? They actually play the arena's first ever concert tomorrow night going to be a special one to soak in, and they're going to be able to soak in this special atmosphere here in the Rock Lobsters' first ever home game. And we see the members of the band presented with special jerseys. And of course, the last time that we got to see, and the first time that we got to see these red home jerseys, was actually in that game against Carolina. A meeting to forget for the Rock Lobsters. Here we are 2 weeks later trying to bounce back. And the Rock Lobsters will hope that they can do that against the last place team in the Continental Division. The Mississippi Seawolves have won just 2 of their last 10 games, but within that last 10, they've also defeated a very, very good Columbus River Dragons team. So with this new building being opened up for the Rock Lobsters, it's going to be interesting to see just how game the Mississippi Seawolves are. And there go the B-52s. So special to have them with us here tonight, dropping the puck and getting us started just as they did with their hit song, which now plays. Everybody knows it. And these faithful fans have shown up tonight in droves. The fan voting the reason why this new franchise, the first hockey franchise in the city of Athens, was named the Rock Lobsters. But it has all led to this. It's time to play hockey. Garrett Milan going up against Brendan Hussey. These fans are ready for hockey. They were ready last week. Akins Ford Arena and the fans that pack it out are ready for the opening face-off. Hussey, Milan. The Rock Lobsters win it. Dropped back behind the net. Riley Robertson tries to get it into the neutral zone. Eventually he gets there through the speedy Garrett Milan. Milan onto the left wing. Takes it to the end. Board centering pass. The crowd wants a penalty, but they're not going to get one. Now the Seawolves working their way up the ice. Puck dribbles in, but it's captured by Shinkarik. To the left side, Malik Johnson backhands it into the Mississippi zone. And with 30 seconds gone, Garrett Milan with a huge hit on Tanner Coleman into the end boards. Game already getting physical. Shinkarik with a drive from the blue line, rather Joe Kolatarsi. He's got a second bite of the cherry, but both shots saved by Ed Coffey. Getting dirty in the corner is Malik Johnson. Puck wriggles free for Alden. Shot from long range, Kason Gallant trying to find the back of his net on his birthday. Less than a minute to go, and what an energetic start to this one. Malik Johnson getting in the face of multiple Seawolves. Fans have been getting excited about the potential of Malik Johnson potentially dropping the gloves for the first time this season. 19:07 on the clock, and the Rock Lobsters have dominated the early start of this game. This third line for the Rock Lobsters on the ice, which includes, actually it looks like it's the second line, Hunter Alden, interestingly enough, centering Philip Virgili and Kason Gallant. So a little bit of a mix-up on this line. There's a stoppage in play here. I think perhaps trying to get the clock fixed. Gallant gets the puck in the corner. Alden wheels back around towards the blue line and sends it back in behind the net. Gallant, that one just dribbles past in between his legs. Heavy hit. Hunter Alden comes from long distance to lay a hit on a Mississippi D-man. That went off the stick of Ed Coffey, dribbles in behind the net. Another heavy hit from Alden. The Rock Lobsters number 22 is getting physical in the early going, as is Philip Virgili. Alden sends it back around for Gallant. Gallant tries to return the favor to the Swede, Philip Virgili, who lays a hit on Don Carter Jr. Rock Lobsters with the puck bearing in on net. Philip Virgili was unable to make a play there. Murray to Shinkarik here on the near side. Sends one long distance. Keller. And the Mississippi Seawolves have been just unable to progress the puck up the ice. They finally have it in the Rock Lobsters zone. Lack of control from either team now. And that puck is flipped into the Rock Lobster bench. A little more than 2 minutes gone in this first period. It's been an electric start for the offense of the Rock Lobsters, but they have not been able to find the back of the net just yet. Face-off's going to happen here right in front of the Rock Lobster bench. Cole McKechnie wins the draw against Dalton Anderson. Puck evades any Rock Lobster on the pass from Matt Garcia. Matt Stoya takes it over neutral ice. To his right, he has the new man, Zach Horn, who forces the save out of Jack Bostet.
Fans, join us for 10-year toss Saturday, December 21st, right here at the Akins Ford Arena. Bring those tickets and get
Stoppage in play and an offensive zone draw, a rare one thus far in this game for the Mississippi Seawolves. It's won by the Seawolves, but it's going to make it all the way back towards the net of Ed Coffey. Picard, Ferreller, back at the blue line. Garcia, that one forces a save out of Coffey, dribbles right back in front of his net. Stephen Ford unable to keep that one entering neutral ice, and it's dumped in to the Rock Lobster side by Bradley Richardson. A little bit of a tussle, fight for the puck on the near boards. And it's dumped in by McKechnie as the Rock Lobsters make a change. Settled behind the net by Matt Stoya. Taking his time, looking at his options out in front of him. He leaves it, switches places with Andrew Stacy, drawing the ire of the Rock Lobster fans. Matt Stoya being a little bit risky with the speed of Garrett Milan right in front of his own net, and Milan's able to wriggle it free. They almost got the pass back from Malik Johnson. Now Malik Johnson has it, tries the wraparound, but it's a little bit wayward and goes through the crease. Good hit laid on there by Riley Robertson. Puck sails through the neutral ice. Milan enters on the left side. Malik Johnson didn't get full swing on that one. Heavy hit in the corner by Chris Hunt. Mississippi Seawolves just looking for anything right now. And all that they'll find is the whistle for the icing.
Station Nation, let's hear it for the team.
Puck coming back into the offensive zone. Crowd getting fired back up for this Rock Lobster team. The clock here in the arena reads 15:28. That feels a little quick for everything that's happened thus far, but we'll listen to that for now as there's a hard hit on the far side. Really, the Rock Lobsters are really laying in on the body of the Mississippi Seawolves thus far, and we have a chance for a potential breakaway here. A 2-on-1. Philip Virgili forces a save out of Coffey. What an electric start that would have made it and continued to be if Virgili was able to bury that one for his 5th of the year. Puck will stay here on the offensive zone. It's strange here not to see Virgili at the center of this line. Virgili playing on the wing as Alton has taken the center spot. Good puck movement. Gallant from the circle. Met a body out in front. But once again, the Rock Lobsters are able to stifle the Seawolves in neutral ice. Kolatarsi. Alden weaving over neutral ice. Kaysen Gallant was looking for Brandon Picard on the far side, but was into the skates of Alden. Garcia, the D-man, dumps it in, takes it to the corner. He wins the race. Good pass into the crease. Portillo was waiting for it, and he's looking to stir things up against Don Carter Jr. Right before the game started, during the warm-ups, Justin Portillo was slamming his stick right on the lobster at center ice, barking at the Seawolves team. He wanted to let that team, his former team, know that he's here. This is his home ice now, and he will protect it. Looks like we're going to a media timeout for the first time of the season. We'll be right back after this message. Returned here, and we get a chance to see for the first time all of the faces here in attendance at Akins Ford Arena. We are right smack dab in the middle of the Classic City, and you can feel the energy here. A little bit more than 5.5 minutes gone here at Akins Ford Arena, and the Rock Lobsters have made their presence be known not only offensively, but they have really laid the body on the Seawolves thus far. No doubt Mississippi will not forget this game, no matter what the result is. It has been a B-52-centric soundtrack thus far, as it will be here tomorrow in Akins Ford Arena, a special concert, the first ever concert. And interestingly enough, we're seeing Curtis Hansen just leave the ice. He's on his way back to the locker room. Don't know what is necessarily going on there, but Rock Lobsters with a shot right off the faceoff. Portillo almost buried on the faceoff win from Cole McKechnie. McKechnie getting dirty behind the net, trying to wriggle that puck free, able to protect it in the early going as Don Carter Jr. Puck stuck in between the boards and some skates, comes free for Garcia. Long distance shot, that one's all the way in. Garcia down to a knee. That one means a lot. It's the first ever home goal for the Athens Rock Lobsters, and it's scored by Matt Garcia, the first of his pro career. That one was hit from miles out. Ed Coffey knew nothing about it. What a goal to start out the account here at Akins Ford Arena. The Rock Lobsters take a 1-0 lead against the Seawolves. And the Rock Lobsters will hope that there's no looking back now. Milan wins the faceoff. Probably on their score sheets, not a lot of people had bet Matt Garcia to open up the scoring here at Akins Ford Arena. But you never know what's going to happen when you're watching the Athens Rock Lobsters. And the whistle blows for the faceoff as Chris Hunt got stuck in the zone as Milan picked it back up. Matt Garcia credited with the goal. McKechnie gets the primary assist. Sounds like the only assist. Milan with the face-off win. Robertson sends it deep. Johnson Trying to wheel around, able to cause some chaos. Puck loose in the crease, and Coffee covers it up. It feels as if there's not a question of if the first fight happens here tonight, but more so when. Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us tonight on the Athens Rock Lobster Network, which has gotten a little bit bigger. Of course, we have our YouTube page, which many of you are watching the stream on, but we are also now a part of the WGAU family here on 98.7 FM and AM 1340. Moneyline stays on the ice here, and Justin Portillo has also stayed on this money line. Looks like the faceoff will switch circles, come on this near side right under us here in the press box. Faceoff won by the Seawolves. They've found it difficult on the dot thus far, and they have a breakaway, and they've tied it up. It all comes out of nothing. Blake Keller, who was our player to watch, is able to bury one on the breakaway and has started to quiet this Rock Lobster crowd here in Akins Ford Arena. And pardon me, it's actually Chuck Costello, the 28-year-old forward from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with just his second of the year. Costello is in his third season in Mississippi, still trying to find his way really in the pros. That's a good way to kind of stake your claim on this team, bearing that breakaway when it arose against Bostet. And now we've got a tied hockey game at 1 apiece. Virgili lining up against Philip Wong, and now the Rock Lobsters have to try and get the lead back once again. Now another new look line here is Brandon Reller is on this line with Galan Virgili. Andrew Stacy on his horse, trying to trouble Troy Murray. Seawolves getting a little bit more physical, a little bit more in the face of the Rock Lobsters. Right now, it's working in their favor. Kolatarski to Galan on the far side. Looking at his options out in front of him. He finds a beautiful fast pass to Troy Murray. Murray helps it on its way. Virgili tries to use a stick to dispossess Turner. Gallant at a tight angle. Thought about the shot, drops it back to Murray. Kolatarski now on the far side. Reller rips a pass through the crease all the way back to Murray. Gallant in this near corner. Another long-range shot that troubles Coffee. This time he makes the save on the Swede, Philip Virgili. Keller dumps it in right on Bostet, who flips it quickly to Murray. Murray, pensive behind the net, finds the pass. Alden is the outlet. So fast, so speedy is Alden. He's always willing to get dirty on the forecheck. Garcia, the goal scorer, all the way around the end boards. That one just evades Alden. Gives Don Carter Jr. some time, but he's dispossessed by Garcia. What a hot start from Garcia. That one took a deflection from Alden right out in front of the net. This time Stephen Ford tries the near angle. Ooh, a couple of tumbles out on the far side. Able to settle everything down is Tanner Coleman for the Seawolves. And here comes Chris Hunt. Chris Hunt in the left face-off circle. Just enough of the glove is caught by Coffee. Looking up to the sky was Hunter Alden, who was so close to sweeping things up. It has already been an electric start to this game, a 1-1 contest with 11:14 left in the first period. Milan up against Hussey, the top lines for these two teams. been no really solidified lines as of yet. Now it's Chris Hunt who's on the right wing of this money line. Johnson, really great pass to Milan. Milan was unable to return the favor. A bounce off the penalty box, which has yet to be used so far in this game, and we've got an icing. It'll come all the way back for the Mississippi Seawolves, who will have to take the face-off in their own zone. This broadcast of the Athens Rock Lobsters is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Face-off win from Milan. Takes a bounce off Johnson, creates an opportunity here for Noah Hippolyte Smith. Ooh, really good shot right on the edge of the near face-off circle, but it took a piece of a body out in front of the Rock Lobsters. Here's Hippolyte Smith once again. Long-range shot once again blocked, this time by Shinkarik. Back around is the puck. Shinkarik. Always a calming presence. That's what he's been known for really this year, along with his fantastic offensive output. Malik Johnson tries to treat Matt Stoya as a saloon door. Ooh, Mississippi Seawolves getting in their own way. Malik Johnson takes a hit up high. What a dirty play by the Seawolves. That's going to lead to the first power play of the night as the Rock Lobsters go for the first time in Akins Ford Arena history to the Paloma Park power play. If the Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the Fan Saves app. Stoya into the box for the hit up high on Johnson. Johnson has recollected himself, has his helmet. Will he be able to join the Rock Lobsters on this power play? A look up to the big screen for Joe Colatarsi. He wanted to see if he could maybe see a replay of that play. The Rock Lobsters have a chance to bring this building back to their feet and score on the first ever home power play. Rock Lobsters win the face-off. Roughing the call on Stoya. Shinkarik winds up. What a rocket. That's saved by Coffey. Good stop by the 26-year-old from Anchorage, Alaska. Good play on the puck as well from Noah Hippolyte Smith. Able to shave some time off this power play that has a minute and a half left. Shinkarik. Virgili on the near side. Trying to take it to the net himself. Was a great pass to Milan, who was waiting on the other side of the net. But it took a hard bounce off the blade of his stick. Was unable to direct a shot towards Coffey. Virgili right on the red line. Milan for Shinkarik. Just misses wide. Johnson able to recollect. Johnson has Virgili waiting right on the crease. It pops up. Seawolves with a chance to clear, unable to do so. Milan for Shinkarik. Milan with the slapper, misses wide. 40 seconds to go on this man advantage. Gallant takes it past the defender, Johnson. To the far boards for Milan. Johnson. Shinkarik winds up again. Virgili on the doorstep. Wow, two amazing saves from Coffey as he goes spread eagle to prevent the potential 2-1 goal to put the Rock Lobsters up. A couple of great opportunities on the man advantage for the Rock Lobsters. And there is still some time on the man advantage. We'll go to a commercial break. We'll be back right after this. Still some time to make something happen on the Paloma Park power play. 22 seconds left. And we've got our second unit out for the Rock Lobsters. Hunter Alden centering Chris Hunt and Brandon Picard. A deep pair of Troy Murray and Joe Colatarsi. Another Athens band playing over the loudspeakers. REM. A beautiful mural, commemorating Georgia music and Georgia musicians up in the arena here. Alden going up against Anderson. Alden pushes it towards the net right on the face-off. A little bit start-stop there. But an opportunity on the power play nevertheless, without shedding much time. Wheeled around the boards, Don Carter Jr. able to send it on its way, but it takes a tip off some piece of equipment on the Seawolves bench. Clock stops at 8:17, a call of let's go Lobsters around the Akins Ford Arena. It's fantastic to be able to hear the Rock Lobster home fans for the first ever time. That's going to do it for the power play as Stoya makes his way back on the ice. Murray behind the net of Bostedt takes it out. Alden played with the foot of Colatarsi, who sends the puck in. Takes a touch off the stick of Coffey. Hunter Alden once again has been so tenacious on the forecheck tonight. Getting the puck out of his zone is Wong. That puck sent out of the rink. The Rock Lobsters want to call for delay of game. Are they going to get one? Referee goes to the penalty box. Looks like they're just going to get a new puck. So the Seawolves stay out of the box this time. 7:36 to go in the first. Ooh, Portillo took a spill. If that was a man-made spill, you better believe Portillo is going to announce himself to this party real quick. Blake Keller over center ice, long-range shot. Didn't miss by much from Bradley Richardson. He was looking for the top shelf. And now we've got a breakaway. Brandon Reller looking for his first goal as a Rock Lobster, but it's saved. Coffey able to squeeze the quads and make the stop. Great opportunity that was created by Reller on his own poke check. Just was able to poke that puck free at the blue line and then take the puck in himself. All that was missing was the finish from the very young 21-year-old who played his first game with the Rock Lobsters last matchup against the Carolina Thunderbirds. Milan slaps a face-off off the end boards. Gallant trying to get that one free and able to get that puck out was Jay Krupp. Krupp, a little bit of Georgia hockey royalty, but before that, Shinkarik was trying to crown himself king. Shinkarik gets the puck back, looking for an option. He's got one. Shot comes from Milan, and it's deflected into the netting. As we were talking about, Jake Krupp, kind of a piece of Georgia hockey royalty, is the son of Jeff Krupp, a former NHL equipment manager, and has owned the Columbus River Dragons since 2019. Krupp started the season with Columbus, was traded to the Seawolves after 300-plus games and 215-plus points in the Fed. Puck stuck in the corner. Multiple parties on both teams trying to kick it free. So close to doing so is Virgili. He's being hassled by his fellow number 17, Andrew Stacy. Riley Robertson gets dispossessed. It's saved at the line by Gallant. Flips one into the corner. Took a slight deflect from the new man, Zach Horn. Ooh, great dispossession by Kason Gallant. Takes it between his own legs with a beautiful piece of skill. Unfortunately, he slips, and that gives the Seawolves some room to breathe. Shinkarik has a piece of the stick as that puck flips viciously into the stands. A young fan with a commemorative piece of history there. 5:33 to go in this first ever period at Akins Ford Arena, and while it started so good for the Rock Lobsters, plenty of offensive opportunities to start this game, and before Matt Garcia actually got on the scoreboard, the Seawolves were able to tie things up thanks to a breakaway goal scored by Chuck Costello. So right now, Matt Garcia at 5:55, less than a minute later, Chuck Costello evened things up. Punk dumped in. A quick icing right off the faceoff committed by the Seawolves. .5:26 to go now in the first period, and after the neutral zone faceoff, might be some trouble here for the Seawolves as it's now in their zone. Hunter Alden, who's really impressed with his physicality in this one, despite standing at 5'9". Malik Johnson takes another spill. Fans wanted another call. Alden tries to get one past that pesky blue line. Murray leaves a little bit on Hippolyte Smith. Really good play behind the net here for the Seawolves. Heavy hit on the far side committed by Murray. Looking for the last laugh was Don Carter Jr., who forced a save out of Bostet. Whistled around the end boards. Touch pass. Really good pass. Sees Brandon Picard with the breakaway. But right now, Ed Coffey has been the master of the breakaway in this game. Puck dumped in once again. Mark Garcia has to be careful. Ooh, that one forces a save out of Bostet. Shot from close range. Backhanded around for Garcia. Having some trouble controlling the puck. He gets it right this time. Already a night to remember for Garcia, who scored his first pro goal. Celebrated, got down to a knee, punched the air back up. Garcia hassled from behind by the new man, Zach Horn. Rock Lobsters with numbers going forward, but a crucial stick there from Jake Krupp prevents any further good feelings for the Rock Lobsters. Maxwell Barrington, first time we've said his name, dumps the puck in. Chris Hunt takes a quick look behind him before the puck makes it his way. Here's Krupp. Towards the high slot. Boston with a tremendous save. Sprawls to his left. Still trouble here for the Rock Lobsters. I think the Seawolves flipped that all the way back into their own zone. Oh my goodness, one of the saves of the year that we just saw from Jack Bostet. What a statement it would have been from this Seawolves team to potentially make it a 2-1 game late on in the first period. Carter Shinkarik very frustrated as he wants a call, and it looks like he's going to get it. Brendan Hussey, who committed the infraction, comes back to share some words with Shinkarik. I'm wondering here if they're going to be upset with Shinkarik on his reaction, if we'll have offsetting penalties. Right now it looks like just Hussey making his way to the box. We'll clear things up after this commercial break. Rock Lobsters, Mississippi Seawolves tied at 1 apiece. Back here at Akins Ford Arena, it looks like Carter Shinkarik has made his way back towards the bench area. The only person in a penalty box is Brendan Hussey. It looked like it might have been a high stick, either that or a hook committed by Hussey. Either way, the result is the same. The Rock Lobsters head back to the Paloma Park power play. Again, if the Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the FanSaves app. Rock Lobsters now starting with this second power play unit as Martinson sends out Alden, Picard, Hunt, Murray, and Kolatarsi. Puck is dropped. Kolatarsi able to keep it in initially, but eventually sent back the length of the ice. Bostedt makes a play on it. Murray trying to quarterback this second power play unit. Not the start to this man advantage that the Rock Lobsters were looking for, as the Seawolves easily shave the first 15 seconds off of it. Good pass right at the line from Alden to find Hunt. Flips it back to Murray. Back into the corner for Murray, looking for Hunt. Alden to Picard. Kolatarsi at the blue line, looking for an option in front of him. Really good play there from Picard, who fired a shot from the dot. Chris Hunt was looking for the short-range deflection. Minute 35 left in this first period. A minute 21 of it will be devoted to this Rock Lobster power play, and they have sent their first unit back on the ice. Such a beautiful building, which you can see in its full detail here from the press box, including the suites here that are on either side of us. We've got our anthem kids right here next to us enjoying their time. Milan backhands a face-off into the corner, backhands a pass back to Virgili. Shinkarik pointing to Milan where he wants the puck to go. Virgili obliges him. Milan to Gallant, just skips past his stick. Able to backhand a pass back to the Swede Virgili. Gallant bounces one off the end boards. Gallant gets the pass. But here come a potential breakaway once again for the man who scored the goal, Costello. Shot just misses wide. 1 minute to go in this first period, the first ever home period for the Rock Lobsters. They would love to end it with a plum. Johnson. Tenaciousness from Gallant, tries everything he can to keep that puck in the offensive zone, but it's cleared by Mississippi. Shinkarik. McKechnie. It all happened so quick. Didn't know that he committed the offside until the whistle was blown. Make sure you stick with us here during the intermission. We've got an interview with head coach Steve Martinson. Had a chance to talk with him just yesterday about the tumultuous last couple of weeks it's been as Rock Lobster head coach. McKechnie gets kicked out of the circle. Hunter Alden takes his place. Mississippi wins the draw. Closing stages of this power play, and now of the period as Colatarsi sends a rocket just wide of Coffey's net. Reller trying to dispossess Hippolyte Smith to try and get one last opportunity. It looks like there's going to be just a couple seconds left in this period as it was a tight angle shot from, it was Don Carter Jr. Said a tight angle shot, but Bostet had to deal with it. Luckily, he was able to do so. And it looks like they're just going to end this period. Thought there might have been a couple seconds left, but that's going to do it for the first period. It was an electric start to the first ever Athens Rock Lobster home game. Matt Garcia scored at the 5:55 mark, but less than a minute later, Chuck Costello scored on a breakaway opportunity, putting one past Bostet. That leads us to our current 1-1 tie. As I mentioned previously, I had a chance to talk with Rock Lobster head coach Steve Martinson. This is how my conversations with a man who has won more than 1,000 games in his career went. What led to that period of success late on, do you think?
Well, I mean, one of the things that, you talk about and you want the guys talking about is, you might not be able to win the game, but you can win a period. And then you can step in from there and build on that. You certainly don't want to come out of a game, losing, not scoring a goal. So, I thought we really weren't outplayed in the first period. I thought we were outplayed in the second period. We were. It wasn't that I thought we were. And I thought they really got a lot of momentum by scoring in that first shift, because you put that in the other direction. If we score in the first shift, and momentum is a funny thing in how fast it can change. And, the two biggest things are a goal.
Hello, everybody. Matt and Rad here at Akins Ford Arena. Unfortunately for our radio listeners, I cut off that interview a little bit early just because apparently there was some issues being able to hear it on the stream. So I will replay that interview during the second intermission, so all of our streaming viewers are going to be able to hear it. Instead, how about we hear from Rock Lobster captain Carter Shinkarik about his red-hot start to the year. Rad, joined by Rock Lobster captain Carter Shinkarik. Shinks, this is the first time we've talked to you since you've been given the C. Did that mean something to you, or is it just business as usual?
Obviously it's a big honor, and what I'll say about that is we got lots of leaders in the locker room. It's a patch on the jersey. The one that really matters is the logo. So honor, yeah, but I don't really think about it too much. We have a lot of older guys that, a lot of voices in the room, so it's leadership by committee on this team.
As everyone knows, you were the top pick in the FPHL expansion draft this past year, and that is looking like a slam dunk pick for this organization. Will you talk about how you evaluate your start to the season?
The boys are playing well. I mean, we're 9-1. I think we'd like to be 10-0, and in my opinion, we could easily be 10-0. But considering our schedule, practice, we're driving an hour and a half to and from, and all our games are on the road. So we're pretty ecstatic where we're at as a first year organization in the league. So something we'll continue week by week, trying to polish and shine our game, and every goal is to win every game. And I know maybe not the most realistic one, but with our roster and how we play and our structure and our standards, there's no reason why any game that we play that we shouldn't win.
You're coming off a win against Columbus. I want to kind of break down my questioning about that game into three different parts. First, you were back in the Columbus Civic Center, and I know you spent just a year there, but I was legitimately seeing written comments from River Dragon fans saying, maybe we should have protected this guy in the draft. Was making the team, the fans, the powers that be in Columbus rethink that decision something that motivated you at all? And what was it like making your first return to Columbus?
Yeah, I think any time a player returns to a team that they played on, especially the year before, it's a little bit more special of a game. But I had a great season there. I met a lot of great people, and I wasn't coming for vengeance. No matter what opponent or we play, I think everyone, doesn't matter the history or the background, they want to win, and focus on the team I'm on now with the boys in the organization. And it always is kind of nice, little breaking rights to beat old team, but I'm still buddies with guys on the team, and talk to the coach, and it's not definitely didn't part ways on bad terms by any means. They talked to a lot of staff and fans there, so it was cool day, cool moment, and the game couldn't have gone any better. So cool moment, but really it's another game, another win for us.
Secondly, I want to talk about that last gasp game-tying goal from Kason Gallant. Everything just seems to happen so fast on that play. You pick up the puck at the blue line on a failed clearance from Columbus, and you don't even look back up. You know that there's just seconds left, and you send the puck back in the general direction of the net. It was maybe just 5 to 10 seconds.
Right now, I think you're just around the net. Most goals are scored right in front of the net, so good job for our boys crashing the net. And there's a saying, you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. And, our team's resilient. We're finding ways to win. I think we'd like to win by a few more goals and get 3 points out of every chaotic play, but it's kind of a testament to our systems of just standards and principles. You put pucks on net and you drive the net and good things happen, and that was the case with that goal there.
You brought up the shootout, and finally that leads us to that move that you pull out of your arsenal, which it must have taken guts. You go forehand, backhand, bar down on your shot. Is that just goalie there, or is that a move that you work on in practice?
Yeah, I think every player probably has their 2-3 moves.
I talked with Matty and Rad here back at Akins Ford Arena. I'd like to apologize for the technical difficulties we're having on our interviews. Trying to figure that out as the night goes on. I think I might have a fix here. Please let me know in the chat, especially when we have our commercials, if you can hear the audio from our commercials. But as of right now, we are back here at Akins Ford Arena for the start of the second period. Let's remind you how we got here. The Rock Lobsters got off to an extremely offensive start to this game, and they were able to convert on that eventually at the 5:55 mark. Matt Garcia, kind of out of nothing, sends one a long distance, and not even really knowing anything about it was Ed Coffey, who looks behind himself and sees the puck in the back of the net. But the celebrations didn't last long for the Rock Lobsters after scoring their first ever goal in their new arena, Akins Ford Arena, as less than a minute later, Chuck Costello was able to bury a breakaway past Bostet, and that has led us to our current 1-1 scoreline. The second period has been a good one for the Rock Lobsters throughout this year, so it'll be interesting to see if they can use that energy to their advantage. Wonder what all contributes to it. If maybe Steve Martinson doesn't like what he sees in the first period, he just lays into the team in the intermission. But for whatever reason, the Rock Lobsters have been a better team in the second period than they have in the first period this year. Still waiting for things to get started here. Might try to run a commercial real quick to see how that goes. We'll be back right after this. for whatever reason, still cannot get the audio to be played on the stream here. It's a learning experience, ladies and gentlemen. It's we're in a new building and trying to figure out, really the biggest roadblock is trying to figure out how to simulcast things seamlessly, with now the Rock Lobsters being on our YouTube stream and as well now on the radio. And with that reminder, we will take a stop to do our local ID. WGAU and W254CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. Rock Lobsters awaiting the green light to get started in the second period. One-one scoreline between these two teams. Mississippi Seawolves, 10 points on the year, only 3 wins for them. 1 win in overtime. This is their 18th game of the year. Meanwhile, the Rock Lobsters are playing their 12th. Justin Portillo barking at what could be some of his former teammates. And it was an interesting moment in the warm-ups. Both teams were warming up, and Justin Portillo was standing at center ice, pretty much barking, challenging at members of the Seawolves team. He's having a couple conversations now on the ice with the likes of Andrew Stacy and Sam Turner. It's a long layoff here to the start of this second period. Not exactly sure what's going on. Portillo in a long talk with the officials. Going to try our best to figure out our commercial audio situation in the meantime. A reminder that this broadcast of the Athens Rock Lobsters is brought to you by Piedmont Athens Regional. Real change lives here. Akins Ford is the largest Ford dealership in Georgia. If you're going to trust anyone, why not trust the biggest and the best? Stanfield Air Systems. We've spent the last 50 years fulfilling Athens' HVAC needs. First American Bank and Trust, we specialize in you. Terrapin Beer Company, do the right thing always. We could try and continue to try and figure out this.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about my
future in the game. But you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy. So happy.
All right, we're ready to get started here in this second period. I don't know if I found a permanent fix or a temporary fix to our audio problem on the commercials, but we are back here in Akins Ford Arena, and the action has not slowed down a bit. Could we potentially have our first fight here in Akins Ford Arena? Justin Portillo getting in the face of Andrew Stacy. No doubt Portillo wants to raise the ticket prices with his physicality in this one. And look, Portillo still getting involved. He drops the stick, drops the gloves, trying to take out Andrew Stacy. These two men still wrestling each other. The referee's trying to separate it. All four of them down to the ground. A tag team wrestling match. It's more so Portillo and Stacy against the referees at this point. Justin Portillo looks at his bench, fires everyone up. Portillo has been the spark plug for the Rock Lobsters all year long. Maybe he felt going into the second period that that's the role he needed to play. A lot of frustration shown in the body language of Andrew Stacy. I think Stacy never really wanted the fight, and how can you blame him when you look a guy like Justin Portillo in the eyes? It's going to take a second for the two teams to iron these penalties out, rather the officiating staff. You'd have to think that the Rock Lobsters are potentially heading to a penalty kill here, with the instigator going against Justin Portillo. I'm going to preemptively put on the penalty kill. Justin Portillo drops the gloves with Andrew Stacy. Portillo started off this period really looking for that fight. Stacy didn't really give it to him in the end, but Portillo kind of took it from him. Interestingly enough, the last game against the Carolina Thunderbirds, that game actually started with a fight for Justin Portillo. I know a lot of the Rock Lobster team wasn't exactly happy with how the last game against Carolina went. It was a very, very chippy game. Not seeing any sign yet of a Mississippi power play. But it looks like actually that will be the case, as Cason Gallant joins Portillo in the penalty box. Only 4 Rock Lobsters on the ice as well. So the Seawolves will have a chance to take the lead here in Akins Ford Arena for the first time tonight, having the man advantage to try and do so. The Athens Rock Lobster penalty kill is brought to you by Leslie Jones Law. Strong, skilled, strategic defense. When you're dealing with that, you're dealing with Leslie Jones. The Seawolves will start in the offensive zone against the Rock Lobsters. Garrett Milan able to win the draw. Shinkarik almost loses it in his skates. Forecheck comes here through Philip Wong. Milan able to bring the puck free. Milan with plenty of speed over the line. Robertson with a shot into the midsection of Ed Coffey. So the first scoring opportunity of this Mississippi power play goes the way of the Rock Lobsters. And now the Athens team has an offensive zone draw. Puck gets dropped. Won by Mississippi. Seawolves take it over center ice. Tiptoeing in is Philip Wong. Tight angle shot, a dangerous one from Stoya. Bostet makes the save, and then the Rock Lobsters make the clearance. Johnson with the puck right out in front of Coffey. Ooh, heavy hit there from Johnson. And now Stoya wants a piece of Johnson. Both teams avoid a fight there somehow. And now here come the Rock Lobsters the other directions. Hunter Alden makes a long clearance into the near corner on the Mississippi side. Seawolves looking for a clean entry. They don't have one here. Murray doesn't know the puck's behind him. Seawolves able to keep possession in this offensive zone. Puck back to Don Carter Jr. Philip Virgili tries to help it on his way. It's intercepted by Keller. Virgili, so good on both sides of the puck. Unable to convert defense into offense there, however. Dropped back to Don Carter Jr. Richardson at the blue line. Rock Lobsters get it out. And that does it for the Mississippi Seawolves power play. Really only one scoring opportunity. Came on a tight angle chance. Gallant. All of this Rock Lobster team looking to be the next player to bring this beautiful arena to its feet. McKechnie gets triple teamed there, and the Seawolves come out with the puck. But again, offensive zone entries have been so difficult. Riley Robertson with a great pass to McKechnie dribbles off the number 6 and falls to Picard, whose shot is wide. Shinkarik, so good at that skating ability. Look at him. Pirouette over center ice. Garrett Milan tries to take it to the net himself. He scores! How many times have we seen that type of play from Garrett Milan? He just steps on the gas pedal, takes it past the D-man, and buries it past Coffey. The claws are up and the towels are swinging. The Rock Lobsters are back on top thanks to the goal from Garrett Milan, his 10th of the FPHL season. He becomes the first Rock Lobster with double-digit goals in 2024. He's so adept at just right when you think he's coming to a stop, he steps right back on the gas. He's able to blow right by you. I don't even think Ed Coffey kind of saw that coming. Probably went 5-hole on the goaltender from Anchorage, Alaska. And we're back in play here. Oh, but here come the Seawolves. Tight angle wrister. Took a deflection off Bostedt. And we've got a stoppage in play here with 16 left in the second. Really good opportunity there from Zach Horn, who's playing his first ever game with the Seawolves, was added to the roster earlier today. Malik Johnson in a deep conversation with Matt Stoya. We saw those two almost come to blows earlier on in the period. It looks like the Rock Lobsters are back on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill, as Riley Robertson has made a trip to the sin bin.
Penalty on number 2 to Riley Robertson. 2 minutes for roughing.
2 minutes for roughing giving to the Rock Lobsters number 2. So right after the Milan goal, Mississippi has a chance to tie things up for the second time this game on a man advantage. It has been very, very difficult for this Mississippi power play to get going. I mean, they've only had one chance in the game thus far, but this Rock Lobster team has made it quite difficult for them.
Looking to celebrate your birthday at a Rock Lobsters game?
15:05 left in the second period. Rock Lobsters back out on top thanks to Garrett Milan, who danced through the circle and went 5-hole on Ed Coffey. But work to do for the Rock Lobsters again on the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. Tough draw that the Seawolves come out of the dot with the puck. Quick pass, but it only finds Virgili. Potential 2-on-1 developing. Virgili with Alden to his left tries to create a shot for himself. It's saved by Ed Coffey. Kolatarsi needs some help back, tries to direct traffic, gets in front of the shot from Bradley Richardson. Less than a minute to go on this Riley Robertson penalty. Bradley Richardson in the corner, back to the blue line for Andrew Stacy. Takes another piece of Kolatarsi. He's done a good job of getting out in front of these shots. Ooh, almost trouble there. Carter Shinkarik gets a piece of his stick on that shot. That could have created a dangerous deflection. But Shinkarik ultimately is the calming presence once again and clears the puck the length of the ice. A little more than 14 minutes to go in the second. 21 seconds to go in this penalty kill. Ooh, takes a couple dribbles. Waiting out in front was Jay Krupp. That was almost trouble for Bostet and the Rock Lobsters. That puck just pinballed through the slot. Picard hassling Tanner Coleman. At the Rock Lobster defensive blue line, Murray sends it into the other side of the ice. Unable to get a pleasant touch to that puck was Dalton Anderson, but Anderson's got the puck back in his carom. Murray loses his stick. Murray able to get his stick back. Ooh, a clever little touch pass with a skate from Brandon Picard, but the next pass out of it was an icing committed by Murray. We go to a media timeout here, and hopefully we can figure out our commercial audio issue. Stick with us here. We'll be back right after these messages.
For 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. Welcome back. And on your screen here, you can see Brian Kavanaugh, if you're listening on the radio, a man who has committed his service to our great nation, is being commemorated here in our arena. All the Rock Lobster fans to their feet. Thank you for your service, Brian. We appreciate you. Of great service to the Rock Lobster team thus far has been Garrett Milan. He adds on to his already impressive resume on the year for the Rock Lobsters. 10 goals, 11 assists for now 21 points on the year. Rock Lobsters with a little more than 13 minutes left in this second period. Lead on the goal from Garrett Milan, from Riley Robertson and Chris Hunt. Puck whistled around the end board, sent back where it came from by the Mississippi goal scorer, Chuck Costello. Mississippi power play now over, and because of that, that'll be an icing. Rock Lobsters not looking as clean offensively as they did at the start of this game in the first period. But it doesn't matter. They've got the lead now. They just got to make sure not to relinquish it. Garrett Milan with another highlight reel goal, reminiscent of his OT winner that we saw in Danville. Whenever you need a goal, you have to call Garrett Milan, and he's been called upon a number of times for Athens this year. Reller with a flip to Murray, the D-man getting in on the offense. Takes it to the end boards. Wheels around the net. Puck trickles into the Mississippi offensive zone. Colatarsi all the way around the rink for Picard. Dispossessed by Noah Hippolyte Smith. Puck tossed up into the air to the near side. Gallant has Picard. Picard sticks with it. Gallant so close to bearing that one as he tries to sweep a shot through the crease. Reller, bank pass right behind Bostet's net. Bostet plays it towards Stephen Ford, the newest member of this Athens Rock Lobster team. Trouble here, but Bostet makes the save on Keller. Puck never left the side of the ice until Reller helps it on its way. Reller with a laser up high. Milan with a heavy hit. Keller, dispossessed by Shinkarik. Again, the clean zone entry has been very tough for Mississippi. Self-inflicted wound. Malik Johnson tries to go 5-hole. Squeeze in the legs there is Coffee. Ooh! A Rock Lobster down on the ice in the corner. Things have elevated to an all-out brawl here. Garrett Milan just now getting to his feet. Didn't see what happened there, but it looked like Milan maybe took a hit up high. The Rock Lobsters rightfully taking exception. And now a tussle between all of the other members of this team. Riley Robertson is dropping the gloves. Riley Robertson trying to wrestle Andrew Stacy to the ground, and Robertson ends up on top. And now Johnson and Shinkarik are going all out on someone who has their jersey pulled over his face. This has gone from a hockey game to like an episode of Cops or something. This has gone absolutely buck wild. Riley Robertson staring everyone down. There's going to be a lot of penalties to come out of this. It's going to take some time to iron everything out. Garrett Milan, meanwhile, just returning to the bench on his haunches. It looks like he's going to stay on the bench. Looks like he's not going to the locker room, which is good to see. How many penalties are going to come of this? The referees earning their wage just on this one play alone. Shot on goal stats aren't always reliable here, but the Rock Lobsters leading that category 20-7 with 11-12 left in this first period. But you'd have to think that there's either going to be an even strength period to be played here, or potentially the Rock Lobsters are going on the penalty kill. Much of that will have to do with who hit Milan up high and how clean of a hit it was. We're going to be right back. We're going to try some more commercials. Stick with us after this break. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate you.
It's a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
This broadcast is brought to you by FanSaves. Fans, make sure to download the FanSaves app to access exclusive deals from our partners. For example, you can log in now and you can get a free basket of fries from Farm Burger. Download FanSaves and follow the Athens Rock Lobsters to check out the Rock Lobsters digital coupon book. Farm Burger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you.
What's the path forward after they decide to take a step back? At the heart of every succession plan is a vision that safeguards hard-earned success. This isn't just paperwork. It's your roadmap, guiding a business during a change in ownership and detailing how ownership transitions and key financial decisions unfold. This instills a profound sense of pride, belonging, innovation, and commitment, ensuring a stable future for the company and a rewarding exit for you. Let's forge that path together.
And how can you celebrate without beer? The Athens Rock Lobster Clawshank Redemption is available exclusively at Terrapin Tap Room. Terrapin, do the right thing, always. Welcome back to Akins Ford Arena. We're just seeing now two Seawolves leave the ice. Blake Keller and Andrew Stacy have just left the rink. You'd have to imagine that that's just not your ordinary fight penalty because, and now Malik Johnson trying to fire up the fans as he leaves the ice. Still time being taken by the referees to iron out all the penalties here. Malik Johnson, pardon me. Looks like he might have been kicked from this game, along with Andrew Stacy and Blake Keller. Take a quick glance at the game center for this game, and has not been updated for penalties yet. Referees still trying to iron this out. We'll go head to some more commercials. We'll be back right after this break.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now. Classic City Flats is a brand new apartment community in Athens, Georgia that redefines luxury living, offering a sleek and contemporary living experience. Our impeccably designed apartment homes boast sophisticated interiors, premium amenities, and exquisite finishes, providing residents with an unparalleled downtown living experience. Classic City Flats is excited to deliver luxury apartments that set the new standard of sophisticated living in Athens, Georgia. Classic City Flats, redefining your horizon of living. Mattine Rad calling this game here at Akins Ford Arena, the first ever event held in this beautiful arena. Right now there is a pause in play as the officiating staff trying to figure out what all is going to go down here penalty-wise. If you're just joining us, Garrett Milan was what brought down to the ice after what looked like a high hit, and now Riley Robertson is making his way off the ice. Wonder if the Department of Player Safety staff will have any look at this. We might have to keep our eyes on the news at federalhockey.com to see what all comes out of this. But Garrett Milan took a hit up high. The rest of his teammates took exception to that fact, and a brawl pretty much just exploded between the two teams. We've already seen Blake Keller, Andrew Stacy for the Mississippi side, and Riley Robertson and Malik Johnson, what looks to be kicked out of this game. I've been checking the Federal Hockey website, which is meant to be kept up to date with penalties. That penalty summary hasn't been updated just yet. So with 11-12 left in this second period, it looks like we're almost ready to continue play here. The referees are explaining everything to Athens head coach Steve Martinson. It looks like they'll return the favor to Mississippi head coach Richard Parent, and that gives us a chance to talk about the Seawolves head coach. Played 32 NHL games with the Blues, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has spent previous 9 seasons coaching the SPHL and the NAHL. As a matter of fact, he won NAHL championships in 2018 and 2021 with Shreveport Mudbugs. So he stays in the Gulf area coaching this Seawolves team. Still looking for an opportunity to get play back started on this game. It's been a blessing, though, to get into this building for the first time and to see all of the Rock Lobster fans that were able to join us for tonight's party. And there's still an opportunity for you to join in on the fun. It's a historic season already in the Classic City. Why don't you call 706-510-2959 today to lock in your full season or mini plan tickets before they're gone. Secure your seat in Akins Ford Arena and cheer on your Athens Rock Lobsters. Once again, that number is 706-510-2959. Penalties being explained over the loudspeaker right now. So indeed, game misconduct's given to 4 players, 2 for the Seawolves. Shinkarik has been given a roughing minor. Looks like this is going to be a power play for the Seawolves. So the Rock Lobsters head back to the Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. There is a lot of repeat offenders. You got to remember to be good, but if you can't be good and you get caught in the penalty box, call Leslie Jones Law. In our next break and play, we'll take a look back at the penalty summary and see if we can get everything all summed up. Penalty kill for the Rock Lobsters, 5-on-4, very dangerous. Shot was stopped by Bostedt. Philip Wong was on the doorstep looking to bury it. Slapper from Stoya. Instinctual save there from Bostedt. The Rock Lobsters head to the penalty kill after standing up for their guy. Now they need to put on their hard hats and get out of this penalty kill unscathed. Ooh, deflection right out in front on the stick from number 25, Dalton Anderson. Still early going in this power play for the Seawolves, but it's perhaps the best it's looked in this game. Philip Wong, who almost scored earlier on in this man advantage, makes a mistake at the blue line, and Alden eventually clears. Only as far as Sam Turner. His pass is just past Philip Wong. And here comes the story on the man advantage for the Seawolves, once again unable to enter the offensive zone cleanly. Puck behind the net. Hippolyte Smith takes it out. Gets hit on his way in the blue line. Murray tries to get his skate atop that puck. Puck comes free. Murray able to be the beneficiary of that defensive play from Joe Colatarsi. And the defensive units change on the penalty kill with 15 seconds left on this Seawolves power play. Couple of good opportunities in the first 30 seconds of it as that tight angle shot from Bradley Richardson is rifled through the crease. Justin Portillo has made his way back to the ice. And the power play is over for the team from Biloxi. Another tight angle shot. Really, that's what the Seawolves have been able to fire in this game. But not much more than that in the second period. Bostet makes the save once again. 8:59 to go in this game, and we'll head to another commercial break. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Farm Burger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of ranchers, farmers, chefs, restaurateurs, and eaters. Our promise is to strive every day and with every burger to uphold these core values to each and every one of you. We do that by holding ourselves to a higher standard. Grass-fed and grass-finished, that means our cattle are never fed grain. Our belief feeds our mission, and our mission is to feed you. Rock Lobsters with a 2-1 lead in the second period. Garrett Milan was able to step around a defender expertly and bury a shot 5-hole past Ed Coffey earlier on in this period. And now we try to take a look at all the penalties that happened before. Unfortunately, right now, none of the previous game misconducts are involved here. So Blake Keller with a boarding major, he was kicked out of the game. Shinkarik with a roughing minor and continuing altercation. The other three majors not currently on the Federal Hockey website. Right after the Seawolves power play, they have an offensive zone draw. Trying to get an angle to get a shot was Turner. That one saved off the pads of Bostet. Ooh, that one takes a deflection right off the stick of Stephen Ford. In our talks with Steve Martinson, talking about what Stephen Ford brought to this team, he said he's a greasy guy, he's tough to play against, as is Garrett Milan. He hasn't let that high hit take down his speed one bit. Steve Martinson having to get even more creative with the lines than he was already being after the game misconducts we've seen. I'm sure Richard Parent having to do the same. The new man, Zach Horn for Mississippi, dumps the puck in. Leaves it for Dalton Anderson. Chance for the Rock Lobsters to gain some momentum coming out of their own zone. Virgili gets the puck right back. Ooh, a couple of great moves from Virgili. He's brought down. Cleanly, said the referees. Milan misses. That one took a piece of a body out in front. Puck drops back for Milan. Takes a quick U-turn. Puck back to Murray at the blue line. Stays in. Kolatarski gets the pass from Milan. Tries to return the favor. Picard makes enough of a defensive play to temporarily keep this puck in. Virgili able to bury it a little deeper. 7:30 to go in this second period. Right on center ice is Hippolyte Smith. Here come the Rock Lobsters the other way through Hunter Alden. Alden, good job protecting the puck. A great backhand pass. So much energy on that pass, which is tough to do on the backhand. Looking for Chris Hunt, who was making a dart towards the other side of the net. Finding the puck after losing it for a second was Costello. Hippolyte Smith unable to continue to progress the puck. Garcia, the goal scorer of the first ever goal here at Akins Ford Arena. The D-man takes the puck in himself, tries to use the forecheck to wriggle it free, but the Seawolves come with it the other way. Steve Ford with a good poke check. Reller, after a great deke, takes it over the line. Gallant trying to find a window to send a wrist shot through, unable to do so. Good defensive play there from the Seawolves. Puck going the other side of the ice as the Rock Lobsters will have a face-off on the offensive dot. Right now, the forward line out there is McKechnie, Reller, and Gallant. I think that puck, that shot from Reller took a piece of Gallant potentially. Luckily, Gallant no worse for wear. Takes a bounce off the shin of McKechnie. Never really settled for Ford. Couple of individual errors there for the Rock Lobsters. Creates a shot. What a brave block of the shot there from Stephen Ford. Then he sends Reller on his way. Reller to his left tries to pass towards the slot for McKechnie. But the Seawolves are able to stomp out the fire once again. Hunt tries the poke at Curtis Hansen. Ooh, really good pass between the legs, backhanded right into the glove of Jack Bostat, who slams the door shut on Dalton Anderson. Exactly 5.5 minutes to go. Rock Lobsters lead 2-1. Goals from Matt Garcia and Garrett Milan. In this historic night, it's had a little bit of everything. The B-52s dropping the ceremonial puck. A raucous home crowd. It's been historic in more ways than one. Milan out here with Hunt and Virgili. There's not really lines right now for the Rock Lobsters. Steve Martinson has just kind of had to send who he's had available out there. 4 major penalties in this game. Shot is well wide of the mark from Tanner Coleman. Troy Murray tries to slap down a long-range lofted pass from Chris Hunt. Can't do it. Justin Portillo finally able to leave the penalty box. And he's already a fan favorite, isn't he? Not really any surprise there. Rock Lobsters lead 2-1. Justin Portillo makes his way back to the bench. We'll be back right after this break. UGA football player Amarius Mims suffered a serious injury. The quality care from the Piedmont team changed his life.
As a football player, my body is everything to me. When I got injured, I was worried about
my future in the game, but you and your team's expertise, care, and support reassured me from the start. I've been able to recover because of the quality care I received at Piedmont, and I am back playing at my full potential on the field. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me, my family, and my future. Your help means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for your part in keeping my dreams alive. How you doing?
Well, I didn't know you were going to be here.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of you. So happy for you. It gives me joy to see you out there on the field doing your thing. You look good.
Appreciate
It's
you.
a good-looking ankle.
I'm trying to tell you.
We've got the wave going here in Akins Ford Arena. A lot of people tuning in to the stream tonight. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. We have made a huge increase in subscribers tonight. Thank you all so much, Crustacean Nation, for making this all possible. Offensive zone draw here for the Seawolves. Both teams at even strength, but both teams also shorthanded after 4 major penalties, after a really scrum between 2 complete teams happened after Garrett Milan was hit up high and hit dangerously. Troy Murray, after the faceoff, takes it over the blue line. Milan tries to swat it free. In the corner is Don Carter Jr. He's had stints in the FPHL with the Elmira Mammoth, Watertown Wolves, Baton Rouge Zydeco. Also in the SPHL with the Macon Mayhem, so familiar with the state of Georgia. Puck all the way back to Garcia, who can't settle it. Over to his D partner, Troy Murray. Pass from Murray intercepted by Hussey, who then backhand swats it into the Rock Lobsters ice. Virgili over the blue line. In the circle, passes it to Milan. Milan, someone who's on the ice for a long time already, but with both teams shorthanded, he's seen a whole ton of ice time here in the second period. Virgili gets double teamed, even triple teamed, still comes out with the puck, tries to find Gallant, just gets tipped into the Seawolves' carom. Kolatarsi makes a step up. I think he got hit with something up high. He makes a grab at his mouth. He needs to switch out, and Bostedt will make a freeze of the puck. Uh-oh. Have we got something going on here? Bradley Richardson getting in the face of Stephen Ford. Head coach Steve Martinson told us about Stephen Ford and told us how much of an expletive he is to play against. Said he's a greasy guy. He makes things difficult for you on the ice. 3:29 to go in this second period. Rock Lobsters have a narrow lead at 2-1, but they've looked comfortable with it thus far. Not a whole ton of scoring opportunities for the Seawolves, and that's something that makes sense. The Seawolves, an offense that has not been able to really fire on all cylinders this year. They have the lowest amount of goals scored in the Fed, also the lowest goal differential. They are down 2-1 in their first ever meeting against the Athens Rock Lobsters. We're in another media timeout. We'll be right back after this.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Seawolves with another offensive zone face-off. Haven't been able to do much with those thus far. Ooh, good tip there from Gallant. Able to backhand it towards Picard. Doesn't take the puck with him. Able to get it back in his grasp, though. Shot from the left side of the left face-off circle is wide of the target. Helped on its way toward Gallant by Picard. Seawolves trying to turn up a little bit more pressure on their forecheck. They win the puck because of it. Puck loose out in front. Garcia banks it off the end boards for himself. Garcia bounces it off the bench. If Picard knew it was coming, he would have been potentially free on a breakaway. The young anthem singing crew that are next to me in the suite are getting loud for the Rock Lobsters. Less than 3 minutes to go. Bostet backhands it behind his own net. Ooh, good chance out in front. A good flip through the crease by the new guy, Zach Horn, for the Seawolves, trying to make a name for himself. That one took a deflection off Stephen Ford. Down on his back was Jay Krupp. And we've got another icing with almost 2 minutes to go in this second period. For those of you just joining us, make sure you stay tuned with us here during the second intermission. I will try to play that head coach Steve Martinson interview that I was unable to make heard in the last intermission. Rock Lobsters, can they take a multi-goal lead late on here? Instead, it's the Seawolves who tie things up. Matt Stoya takes a long stare at Justin Portillo after he buries one and ties things up at 2 apiece. Does it come at the right time for the Rock Lobsters as Stoya scores his 3rd of the year. He's the top scoring D-man on this team, now his 8th point of the season. A bit of a playmaker is Stoya as well, tied for the team lead in assists as a D-man. It's been a night to remember for the Rock Lobsters, but the Seawolves hoping that they can make it a night to forget. They've tied this game up at 2. Milan with a slap shot. Save off Coffey. Coffey must have drank his caffeine today. He has looked very, very focused in net. And out of the 2 netminders, he has seen much more of the bulk of the shots. Gallant to Milan. A little bit more electricity through this Rock Lobster team. Oh, my goodness. Garrett Milan with another highlight reel opportunity, but unable to make it a highlight reel goal. Beautiful play with the stick and puck there from Garrett Milan. Not unlike the opportunity that he buried to make it 2-1. Ford flips it to the boards. But that allows more pressure from the Seawolves. Turner. Bostet saves and deflects it past his own net. Costello with a wraparound, rather a backhand in the slot. Milan with a good defensive play, and Virgili able to send Milan on his way. Tries to flip it back to Gallant and give him a memorable moment on his birthday. Gallant turning 25 today. A Christmas time baby, just like me. Puck flipped in. No icing, say the officials. 15 seconds to go. Hunt. Pass it to the neutral zone for Picard. Picard with a great move past the defender. Takes it into the corner. Alden behind the net. 5 seconds to go. And there's not another scoring opportunity left in this period. It has been a topsy-turvy second period for both teams as Garrett Milan took the lead for the Rock Lobsters at the 3:40 mark in the second period. Right after that, there was a tussle between almost 2 complete units between the 2 teams after Milan, the goal scorer to make it 2-1, took a hit up high. His team took exception, thought it was dirty, and there was a brawl between the 2 teams. And then late on in the second period, Matt Stoya with a slapper from distance to make it 2 apiece. If you needed any more excitement, you got it here in Akins Ford Arena. We go into the third period with a tie game. Something that our radio listeners were able to hear, but not our streamers, was an interview that I had with Coach Steve Martinson just yesterday. With another Athens Rock Lobster Coach's Corner this week, and I'm once again joined by head coach Steve Martinson. Coach, you've played 11 games all on the road thus far, and now you finally head into the club's first ever home contest with a 9-2 record. To me, going into the season, it always felt like a lot of the season was going to be measured by how good of a start the team got heading into Akins Ford Arena. Now that you're there, how have you evaluated the team so far this season?
Well, I mean, there's some things I'm not happy with. I wasn't happy with our last game, obviously, and as a coach, you don't want to make any excuses. We had a lot of time off between games, and we're playing a team that we beat that went to the finals the year before, and they got a lot of pride. We beat them in their rink, and they came out ready, and we came out, we made defensive mistakes. It wasn't that we were being blown out in the first period. We were out, I thought out playing them, but we made mistakes. And when you take that game out, but we had 4 days off, one of the things that is kind of, to me, what people don't realize is when you're not playing on the road, when you're not playing at home, we didn't have a practice rink. So, we've talked about it, but, the guys having to spend 3 hours a day in the van back and forth. So we had 4 days off. We took 2 of the practice days off, and that will pay off later in the season when it's, when you're looking at March and you've been on the ice for 4 months, that'll pay off. And it didn't pay off, when we played Winston-Salem, but it will in the long run.
All in all, Coach, it must have been, a real mixed bag of emotion the past few weeks. You talked about the long layoff heading into the Carolina game that leads to a 6-2 defeat. Then you prepare what's meant to be a historic day, and you get the bad news just hours before puck drop. The arena delays have led to another long layoff. How have you sort of just navigated this past few weeks?
Well, one of the things that, I addressed it a little bit more maybe than I did the last time, because the way we played the last game kind of caught me off guard. But, I'm still learning as these guys are learning, from me. I'm still learning, their game. So, I think the players were more let down. I've learned over the years, I don't waste any time sweating on stuff that I don't have control. And there's too many things in this business that I have a lot more control here than some of the places in that, we're not affiliated with an American League team who's constantly pulling guys in and out and sending you guys that can't play in your team. And so, in one respect, we're more like an NHL team where we can build our team the way we want it. Going back, so I've learned just not to let those kind of things bother me. Players were so disappointed that, they were just raring to get at home. And, we had to go up to Cummings one more time, and we almost had to go up yesterday. But I actually ran into the people running the show here on yesterday morning and basically said, hey, look, if there's a chance we can get on the ice, we'll go on the dinky rink at 3 if we can't get on, but we would prefer. And so boom, 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock came, and they said, you're good to go. And so anyway, going back to the highs and lows, and the players are just chomping at the bit to get playing at home.
That kind of segues into my next question beautifully, talking about getting to get on the ice at Akins Ford Arena. We saw the videos of it on social media. What was that experience like for both you and the team?
Well, for me, it was like, it's about time. When I took the job, we were supposed to be playing the rink was supposed to be done in September, and I don't want to get into that stuff of the rink. That's separate from me, but it was just a great feeling to get on, because the one thing, when it's all said and done, it's a beautiful arena, and it's going to be a lot of fun playing here. I brought this up before, but the stands are steep, and not too steep as to be dangerous, but they're steeper than a normal arena. And that makes for more noise. I remember back when I played, Indianapolis had a rink like that at the fairgrounds. And when it was full, it was like, Mad Max Thunderdome. It was just crazy. And we want that to be our rink, our atmosphere here.
In our talks together, you've highlighted things that needed to be worked on. Going into the Carolina game, we only had one loss, one that had felt like an anomaly against Danville with how many chances and shots we had in that game. No doubt the last game against Carolina would have presented the most learning opportunities on film and through experience. I know it's not something you want to dwell on, as you just mentioned, but What did you learn from that game, and what were your takeaways about what the team could have done better?
Well, I thought, number one, I thought we needed to compete more for loose pucks. And I didn't think we were very physical when we didn't have the puck. And I literally told the guys, I think we're 4 players away from where I want to be. Now, does that mean that there's 4 guys in that room that can pick up their game to where I need it to be? That remains to be seen. One of those guys eventually that's going to get a spot back is Orca. Orca finishes his checks. He's hard to play against, and he's hard to play against, and then he battles for pucks. And I just thought we got, we lost too many battles for one-on-one for pucks. And they're not a physical team. Their captain their captain had 5 hits, and we had Phil Virgili led us with 4 hits, which is typical. Phil hits all the time, and one of the reasons I wanted him really bad is when I was recruiting him, and he told me he loves to finish his check, and I'm like, boom, okay, you just went up to the top of the list here. So that was one thing. That was the main thing. I just didn't think we competed. And then when we made mistakes, our goalies didn't cover for us. I think when we made mistakes, and in the past, that tricks you a little bit. You make a mistake and they make the big save, and I'm not blaming the goalies. I'm just, usually there's 3 or 4 mistakes before the puck ends up in the net. So that was what really, I just thought the number one thing is competing when we don't have the puck.
You brought up Orca's injury again, and his absence has kind of created a conundrum for you on that top line. We've seen already a couple guys try to fill that spot. Kaysen's been in there a little bit. We've seen mostly Hunter Alden and Daniil Glukaryov try to fill Orca's spot on that money line. And if I'm not mistaken, it looked like that I saw Chris Hunt in the green jersey last practice on the videos that I saw. Is he the next in line to try and fill that hole, or who else do you have in mind?
Well, yeah. So I've got some things in mind. I mean, I've got a guy that is probably coming after the day after Christmas that has a pretty big resume. Bring him in for 8 games, and he's going to try to go back to the ECHL. As a veteran guy, so I'm just giving different guys an opportunity there. I mean, I haven't liked that line the last few games, so we'll see. I've got a backup. I've got a couple of backup contingents of what I might switch to, but ultimately, I want on that line. We want Garrett carrying the puck, and if you want to play with him, I got to have guys that will get him the puck. And one of the things that Orca could do was make plays with him and keep up with him. And so it's, you got a guy with, I don't know, he's got 9 points in 7 games. Those guys aren't as easy to replace when you get some of your top players hurt. So it's an opportunity for guys to go in there and Hunt might not be our fastest guy, but he's got a really good shot. And if he can get the puck to Garrett, and then we'll see how it goes, because it's hard to tell in practice.
That game started off with that fight between Justin Portillo and Joe Kennedy. It's the earliest fight by far that we've seen this year. What contributed to that early bout? Was it just lingering feelings from last time these two teams met?
Yeah, they have a guy that they usually start that the reason I put Portillo out, because they usually started a different line, and I wasn't sure what they were going to do if they started checking line. And so I don't know what the exchange was between Ports and their guy. Ports has got some adrenaline going, and I like to throw him out there now that Orca's out in the starting lineup, just to send a message and get that puck in and let somebody get run over the first shift of the game.
Your guys pulled 2 goals back late on in that game. Kolatarsi from long distance, and then a beautiful goal from Brandon Picard. What led to that period of success late on, do you think?
Well, I mean, one of the things that, you talk about and you want the guys talking about is, you might not be able to win the game, but you can win a period. And then you can step in from there and build on that. You certainly don't want to come out of a game, losing, not scoring a goal. So, I thought we really weren't outplayed in the first period. I thought we were outplayed in the second period. We were. It wasn't that I thought we were. And I thought they really got a lot of momentum by scoring in that first shift, because you put that in the other direction. if we score in the first shift, then, and momentum is a funny thing in how fast it can change. And, the two biggest things are, a goal or a big hit. A fight sometimes can change momentum, but I always tell my fighters is that I don't like to use a fight, to give you momentum. If you get it from it, but that shouldn't be the reason. You probably heard me say that before. That shouldn't be the reason you're fighting.
You've signed Daniil Glukaryov to another 4-game PTO. He hasn't gotten on the score sheet yet, but every game I watch him, it feels like he keeps getting better and more ironed out. And, quote unquote, learning the North American game is something you hear a lot. What have you seen his improvements as so far?
Well, so he's really looked good in practice. And in the last week and a half, I thought he stepped up his game, and he's learning English. He didn't really speak any English. And I was told that he speaks better English than he does, because when he got here, he didn't speak any English. And maybe it was a couple of the other guys that were supposed to come that were supposed to be better. But I like that he's over 6 feet and he moves well. And he is a guy that he can play. One of the reasons that I was playing with Garrett is he was able to get Garrett the puck. But I'm just trying to keep an open mind with everybody, and as we kind of move people around, and I did some line changes from the last game, just try to create 3 lines that can score and 3 lines that can carry the puck.
It's something that we hear so much as hockey fans and hockey personnel about European players, learning the North American game. But, for dummies like me, can you talk about what all of that entails?
Well, number one, they don't have as much time. Their rinks are the same distance, but they're wider. So it's not as, one of the reasons it's not as physical is because it's harder to hit there. They're more like the Division I. A lot of the college have the Olympic size rink, and those are built for skill. I think they're 10 feet wider. So it's a significant difference. And I remember playing one game in a preseason game with Winnipeg, and I felt like I was getting tired just trying to chase guys to hit them, because you have to skate so much more. So that's the one thing. And then it's more physical. But one of the things that you saw with him, and I think it was the first period, he ran somebody over, ended up getting a roughing penalty. And so he's probably more physical than a typical European. But those are the two things for them to get used to, to that part of the game. But I've had a couple of Swedes that, and Norwegians that they don't fight, but they're tough and they hit like filth. And people always think when you say, oh, he's tough, they always think, well, you're talking about fighting. And I always say that the number one intimidating factor in hockey now is hitting. So we're not there. We're not where we want it. We're not where I would like to be as a team yet, and as far as that style of play, but we're going to get there. One way or the other, we're going to get there. And it's just a matter if it's the guys that are here now or, some changes in the lineup.
Just a general question on the injury list. Any updates, any incomings or outgoings to the DL?
Well, Mavali he's got a sprained knee, so he's out for at least a month. And everybody else, and then Orca's out another month. Looks like. I think he's been 4 weeks in surgery, and they talk 8 to 10 weeks. But usually when doctors that haven't been doing a lot of sports team, when they say 8 to 10 weeks, they're talking about normal people, not athletes that are in better shape.
Your attention now turns to the Mississippi Seawolves, another first meeting for the team this season. In this very competitive division, they've struggled the most out of any team, and they've lost 8 out of their last 10 games. They also have the lowest scoring offense in the league by some margin. With that being said, there's going to be so many different factors going into this game. It's the team's first ever home game. It feels like this is a game that the other team is going to be extremely game for. Does your messaging to the team right now include motivation about it being the first home game, about bouncing back from the last game? Or do you think it's better to try and take the gravitas and the weight out of the moment for the boys?
Yeah, no, so my normal, the way I operate in the playoffs, the players have to know each game means a lot, just like the regular season. And I'm big on, I just brought it up last night, is it's up to the players to get yourself ready. If you need me to get yourself ready to play, then you're not playing in the right spot. So there's things that I can do, like we didn't have a real hard skate today, and we'll have an easy, skate in the morning. But one of the things that you're trying to do one of the reasons we have a lot of good veterans is those are the kind of things that they're talking about in the locker room. Make sure you're ready to go. And one of the things that you see is in a game, like a big game or, the first home game, is the old expression, the player's trying to do too much. And what I tell guys is, and you've probably heard me say that expression came about because you had guys on one-way contracts in the NHL that were maybe the top players and making $8 million a year, and they're selfish and they're trying to score goals and try to beat guys where they shouldn't, or they're making, dumb plays. And so I take that, I get rid of it. You're trying to do too much and you're either being selfish or dumb. So we don't want anybody being dumb. I don't think anybody's going to be selfish, but you got to just keep it simple. And the way we want to play is the way we need to approach the game, is just do the things that, we're capable of doing and what we're working on. That's what that's another cliche when, I'm going to stick to the game plan. We got this game plan, and really what it is they're talking about, we have style and a system that we want to play, and we just want to execute that, and make sure it gives us the best chance to play the way we need to.
So last question from me, Coach. There's going to be a lot of new ears and eyes on the product. People coming into the arena for the first time will now be on FM and AM radio for the first time. You said at the beginning of the season, fans should be prepared to be entertained, and they have been so far. Now that we're 11 games into the season, what do you believe the identity of this team is?
Well, we're definitely skilled. I mean, teams look at us and you don't want to turn the puck over. We've got guys on every line that can score, and you want to manage your turnovers and not give us pucks turned over in the neutral zone because we've got good speed. I don't think we're quite there as the team is as hard to play against as I'd like to be. And, some guys are going to get a wake-up call, whether they're ice time or they're in and out of the lineup. Because right now, because of the PTOs, we're able to carry extra players because they don't count against the cap or the roster. So it's a little bit more competitive around here, that if you don't play well, you're coming out of the game. So Hunt's going in, and one of the guys is coming out, from the last game. So it's going to be a little bit more competitive around here until I get exactly where I want to be. Excuse me, as far as the team goes. And, I talked to 2 players today, that are looking to come here. So it isn't like we're just sitting back and saying, okay, that's good enough.
Thanks so much, Coach. Looking forward to the game on Friday.
No problem. See you tomorrow.
And here we are in the first ever home game here at Akins Ford Arena, and it is all to play for between the Seawolves and the Rock Lobsters, tied at 2 apiece. Going to be interesting to see which team comes out on top. Seawolves team has not had a lot of success as of late. Only 2 wins in their last 10 games. Can the Rock Lobsters make sure that they put a finishing touch on this game and make it a night to remember for every reason you could think of? It was a tumultuous second period, to say the least. It started with the Rock Lobsters taking the lead on a highlight reel Garrett Milan goal, the type of move that we've seen from the player coach all season long. But then it was all topsy-turvy for the Athens team after that. Milan took a hit up high. It resulted in many penalties and a tussle between 2 complete units of players on both teams. 2 players for each team ejected. So both teams shorthanded in terms of personnel. And now the Rock Lobsters have 20 minutes to try and end this game in regulation. If not, we will go to 3-on-3 hockey in overtime. Overtime is something that has happened a lot for the Rock Lobsters this year. Out of their 9 wins, 5 of them have come past regulation. So might be something that you have to strap in for. What's left of this top line is out there for the Rock Lobsters. You can see the booth getting down there. Rock Lobsters win the face-off. Have done good in the circle tonight. They try the dump in, but Zam Turner quickly clears it out. Creates trouble early for the Seawolves. Brandon Hussey almost scores on an opportunity, but saved by Bostet. Really good start. Probably the best start to any period thus far for Mississippi. Right on the blue line, fetching the puck is Noah Hippolyte Smith. Trickles into the zone. Helping it on its way is Philip Wong. Tanner Coleman from long distance. Save of the pad from Bostet. Picard flips it off the glass. Handled in the Seawolf side of the ice by the goal scorer to make it 2-2, Matt Stoya. Clever little between-the-legs pass as it's helped on toward Bradley Richardson, who makes a hit on Troy Murray right behind Bostet's net. Bostet didn't know where that was. Really close-range shot from Curtis Hansen. First time we've said his name today, the 26-year-old forward from Mound, Minnesota. Not a good start to this period for Athens, and really that's been one of the more notable storylines of this game is how well they've started periods. Kolatarsi kind of just ushers Don Carter Jr. off the puck, but the Seawolves getting more involved in their forecheck in this game. A stoppage in play here, and it looks like we've got a penalty.
Thank you to Akins Ford and Wild Willies for your support of the Athens Rock Lobsters.
It's going to be a hold going against Don Carter Jr., and the power play coming at the right time for the Athens Rock Lobsters. Let's see who's even available to come out on this power play. Trying to get his energy up. I saw Carter Shinkarik take a heavy huff of some smelling salts on the bench. Gallant, Milan, Shinkarik, Virgili, and McKechnie is going to join them. So most of this top unit is available. Malik Johnson is not. McKechnie will take his place. Paloma Park power play. McKechnie forces a save off the glove of Coffey. So the first shot for the Rock Lobster power play comes just 5 seconds out of it. The Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play. Fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the Fan Saves app. Another face-off in the offensive zone for the Rock Lobsters. This time it's won by Mississippi. The clearance is deflected by Chris Hunt, who's now on. So Steve Martinson making some quick changes even just seconds after the power play. Virgili lost sight of it. Shinkarik tries to swat the puck out of the air at the blue line. Able to save it. Flips it back towards his own zone. Milan has to go fetch it. Minute 23 left in the power play. A little trip at center ice. Milan takes it with speed, but was a little too hot to handle, heading towards Coffey's crease. Virgili into the zone. Virgili. His stick upended towards the end of that opportunity. Wasn't able to get the power he wanted on it. Here's Virgili again. Shinkarik fakes the slapper, passes to his right for Milan. Back to the captain, McKechnie. On the edge of the dot, Shinkarik back at the blue line. Ooh, a little bit of shifty feet, was looking for Virgili, who was waiting at the edge of the crease. McKechnie behind him for Shinkarik. Back to the Rock Lobsters, number 6. Shinkarik. Milan. Virgili takes a tumble in the right in front of the net. Virgili in the slot. Flips it right over the crossbar. Virgili takes a quick pause to just sigh after missing that. Only 10 seconds left. Rock Lobsters can't re-enter after Hussey kind of just ushered Milan to the end boards, and the man advantage is done for the Rock Lobsters. Still good passing play here from Athens. Troy Murray sends one towards the slot. It's going to bounce right back to him. Murray trying to protect the puck. Good defensive play, though, from Don Carter Jr. Athens keeps it in. Turnaround slapper from Brandon Reller. He's looking for his first point as a Rock Lobster. Here's Reller again. Sends a pass that's gloved down by Murray. Sent a pass to the slot. Reller didn't get there in time. Good forecheck from this line. Implemented by Hunter Alden. Great pass to Murray. Sends a shot high. Rings around the rosy and touches the netting. That'll prompt a stoppage in play at 15:24 left. We head toward another face-off here. A line of Gallant, McKechnie, and Portillo. Excuse me, Chris Hunt, McKechnie, and Portillo. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Case and Gallant in some time. Portillo with a great pass towards the high slot. Chris Hunt whiffs on the shot. Shinkarik flips it with a backhand behind him. Dalton Anderson takes it behind the net. Almost causes some calamity with a quick pass back towards the slot. But Shinkarik is able to handle it. Whistle blown, must be for an offside. Trying to get my eyes on Case and Gallant at the bench, and I'm not seeing him. And I don't think he was part of any of the penalties. Let's recheck the penalty summary here. No, and that causes some concern. Case and Gallant came into this game tied for the goal-scoring lead for this Athens Rock Lobster team, but not seeing Athens number 9 either on the ice or at the bench. We go to a commercial break. We're tied at 2 apiece.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Face off right in front of the penalty boxes. Cole McKechnie lining up against Brendan Hussey. Brendan Hussey tied for the team lead in assists with 5. Logged 21 points last year for the Baton Rouge Zydeco. He stays in the Gulf area. This so far is a 7-point year for Hussey. McKechnie comes out of the face-off with the puck. McKechnie with a good move, trying to protect it, ends up getting dispossessed, but on his way to play hero a little bit there is Shinkarik. Backhands it towards Stephen Ford, who dumps it in. Rather, it's right into the glove of Coffey, who plays it down for Maxwell Barrington. Puck lifted high over the neutral zone, and it's carried in by Costello. Ford gets in behind him, lays it body to body. Puck comes back for Stoya. Looking to try and take a lead here for the Seawolves after he tied it up at 2 late on in the second period. Puck sent the length of the ice, and that's going to be an icing. 14:05 left in regulation here. Could we potentially be heading to yet another overtime contest for the Rock Lobsters? Right now we've been on the lookout for Kaysen Gallant. Have not seen him yet in this third period. Face-off won by McKechnie back for Shinkarik. His attempted clearance is ringed off the glass and into the first couple rows right next to the Rock Lobster bench. Garrett Milan lining up for the draw against his fellow number 10, Philip Wong. Ooh, really good chance for the Seawolves right out in front of Bostedt's net. All created from the shot in the slot from Curtis Hansen. Ooh, wrister from Picard, saved by Coffey. Wow, what a chance there for Picard. Offensive zone face-off. Once again for the Rock Lobsters. A little bit of a stoppage in play here, and Kaysen Gallant is now back on the ice. Chris Hunt behind the net, helped out by Kaysen Gallant. Good to see him make his return. Not sure what caused his absence, but it didn't last all that long. And the Rock Lobsters are on the power play here. Ooh, chance out in front, but quickly cleared out by the Seawolves. Shinkarik up the left side for Virgili. The Swede very, very good at puck possession. Hunt tries to get the puck back to Shinkarik, but it's all the way back for Bosteddt on the Mississippi clearance. Shinkarik and the Rock Lobsters reload. Milan. His pass cleared out for another time in this power play. Not a lot of note-worthy action here with 45 seconds left on the man advantage for Athens. Kolatarsi scored in the team's last game against Carolina. Hunt has two Seawolves on him looking for some help. It didn't come in enough time. That one sails right above the head of Picard. Kolatarsi saves at the blue line. Picard to Shinkarik. Wrister takes a deflection, and it's into the netting. Take a look at the federalhockey.com penalty summary. Trying to figure out how we got here. Matt Stoya with a cross-checking minor. And there's 18 seconds left on this power play for the Rock Lobsters. Still chance to make something happen. Kolatarsi. Alden on the near side. Back to the D-man Kolatarsi. Coffey with the save despite the big boy Brandon Reller standing out right in front of him. .6 seconds to go. on the power play for the home team. Kolatarsi. Murray's shot gets blocked. Hunter Alden tries to follow up with it. Stoya's back out on the ice as McKechnie's shot gets saved from the right dot. Power play over, and Stoya, who committed that penalty, flips it towards neutral ice. Puck evades everybody, eventually picked up by Maxwell Barrington, who takes a hit from Reller. Reller in his third game as an Athens Rock Lobster. His first came 2 games ago in the incredible win at 6-5 in a shootout against the Columbus River Dragons. Potential in-state rivalry developing there. Loose puck picked up by Dalton Anderson, tries to send it long, prompting a potential forecheck from Zach Horn. Carter Shinkarik evades that with a quick pass towards Picard. Milan with a great move of the puck. Heads towards the crease. Oh, and a backhand shot stopped by Coffey. Coffey has been electric in this game, a big reason why this game is tied at 2 apiece. Again, Garrett Milan so quick to take it to the next gear, just as we saw him do so there. Virgili with a great defensive play, puts himself in a position where he could kick the puck into his own blade and then wraps around a pass towards Portillo. Fantastic tenacity there from the Swede. But unfortunately unable to direct the puck towards Portillo. Portillo looking for his first goal this season. No doubt he's been a catalyst in ways that aren't just offensive as Justin Portillo. Chris Hunt, tape-to-tape pass. Justin Portillo gets taken down on the way to the net. Justin Portillo, I think, is looking for the shot. He wants a penalty shot. It looked he was almost on a breakaway before he was taken down. Either way, the Rock Lobsters are heading back to the Paloma Park power play. They have yet to score on the man advantage yet, but if the Rock Lobsters score on the Paloma Park power play, fans can unlock $3 tacos at Paloma Park for 24 hours through the Fan Saves app. We'll be back right after these commercial break. Farm Burger is defined by its mission, its farms, its team, and its family. In 2008, our co-founders gathered around a single idea: redefine the burger by bringing together a community of...
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
Back here at Akins Ford Arena, Rock Lobster fans thought they may have had a penalty shot after Justin Portillo was brought down on a breakaway. Instead, it'll just go down as a hook. Rock Lobsters heading back to the power play. Milan, Virgili, Kolatarsi, Shinkarik, and McKechnie. This power play unit. Still waiting for both teams to look to be ready to take this face off. Whistle's blown by the linesman. Milan with a win. Shinkarik with a laser right into the glove of Coffey. Tanner Coleman called for the penalty. Goes down as a hook on Portillo. Portillo's been so hungry to try and score his first goal as a Rock Lobster. It hasn't happened for him just yet. Puck comes to Shinkarik. Kolatarsi. Milan back to the number 4. Ooh, a wrister into the top shelf where Mama keeps the cookies. Garrett Milan makes it 3-2. Oh my goodness, this man knows how to bring a crowd to its feet, and he's done so for the second time tonight. Garrett Milan with yet another 2-goal performance for the Rock Lobsters. That's his 11th of the year. Could he potentially log the team's first ever hat trick? And could it happen in the team's first ever home game? So now the team has finally tallied a goal on the power play. Chris Hunt looking to expand on that lead. He has a shot in the slot that's saved by Coffee. Philip Virgili given the assist on the goal by Milan. McKechnie lined up for a face-off here against Philip Wong. Philip Wong out of Kungsbacka, Sweden. After years of playing pro in his native Sweden, also 14 games in France as well, made the move to the FPHL to play with the Seawolves. Garcia. Shot goes wide. Shinkarik. Portillo almost able to find McKechnie with a pass. Instead, it's intercepted by a Seawolf. Taking his time as Curtis Hansen gets it back to his D-man, Tanner Coleman. Coleman slices one through middle ice. It's helped on its way by Bradley Richardson. Garrett Milan with 2 goals in this one, the latest to take a 3-2 lead. McKechnie over the line. Shot batted down on the blocker by Ed Coffey. Kolatarsi lasers a wrister. Another save with the blocker by Coffey. Ooh, Virgili, oh my goodness, silky smooth with the stick, but couldn't find the finish. Grounded shot from Murray into the glove of Coffey, and the play of Ed Coffey has been noteworthy tonight. Without his play in this contest, it could be a much bigger lead for the Rock Lobsters in this game. .7:23 to go in regulation. Have the Rock Lobsters done enough to capture a victory in their first ever home game? Milan wins another offensive zone draw. Murray wheels around, took his time with it. Ooh, Philip Virgili was free in the slot, so was the puck. But there was a Seawolf out in front of it to make the block. Third period may have been the Rock Lobsters' best thus far. Still plenty of time left, but the Seawolves, at some point around the 2-minute, 1-minute mark, are going to start thinking about pulling the netminder. Milan has been so good on the faceoff circle, wins another one. Slapper blocked by Hippolyte Smith on the shot from Ford, and Hippolyte Smith trying to turn defense into offense. Tries to make a nice move. It was a good idea, but couldn't beat Ford. Puck still in the zone. Bostet loses sight of it, so does everyone else. Picard almost gets on the end of that pass from Milan. Instead, it goes into the Mississippi side of the ice. Matt Stoya dances around behind his net. Reller makes a poke in on Don Carter Jr. and makes the interception. Doesn't touch the puck after he took it over. Would have been offside as Hunt was still in the offensive zone. Smacked at by Reller. Alden with some more good forechecking. It's been the name of his game today. Played with the skate of Kolatarsi. Poked inside the zone. Coffey backhands it. Risky play, but it pays off. Backhanded by Barrington off the glass. Murray looking more like a forward there, but unable to complete a move. Puck's into the corner, this near corner in relation to our booth here. Puck skips off a stick and out, which will relieve some pressure for the Rock Lobsters. Rock Lobsters have kept their forecheck up in this third period. Kind of the definition for sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Brandon Picard's pass gets intercepted, but possession stays with the Rock Lobsters. Shinkarik plays it quickly to the Canadian Picard. Garcia, the scorer of the first ever goal here at Akins Ford Arena. You can tell he's been hungry to get on the score sheet. Sent a shot from a long distance that took a while for Coffey to even realize it was in the back of the net. Kolatarsi looks to be hurting a little bit after implementing a hit. Coffey plays the puck once again. Flips it around his own net towards Don Carter Jr. The lack of zone entry has been frustrating for the Seawolves tonight. It's perhaps been even more so in this third period. Shots in favor of the Rock Lobsters, 32-22, and we have an icing that will create an offensive zone draw for the Seawolves. That would be a sight for sore eyes for the team from Biloxi. Looks like we're having audio issues once again, this time on the radio side. Let me see if I can figure this out. It's been a learning experience this game. Thank you for bearing with me as we try to figure out everything from our home barn.
Meet our professional team, where the best customer service is our promise. With over 5 decades of expertise, trust Stanfield to keep you comfortable. Schedule online at stanfieldair.com.
There's only one place you can deck yourself out and represent Athens' first ever pro hockey team, the Rock Lobsters. Head to shop.rocklobstershockey.com to get your hats, shirts, and even jerseys now. Back here at Akins Ford Arena, in case you are just joining us, Rock Lobsters up 3-2. The penalty summary has been longer than the scoring summary in this game, but it still reads favorably for the home team. Garrett Milan with 2 goals in this one, first to make it 2-1, then to make it 3-2. The Seawolves have not held a lead in this game. It all started with a long-range shot from Matt Garcia, the first ever goal here at Akins Ford. First ever home goal for the Rock Lobsters. Still about 4 more minutes in this game in regulation, either for the Rock Lobsters to close it out or for the Seawolves to make things interesting late on. But once again, in an offensive zone draw, the Seawolves are unable to win one. A little pensive there from Stephen Ford before eventually clearing it in. It banks off the end boards. Almost created a great opportunity for Garrett Milan, who's looking for the hat trick. Got his stick on that shot, too, from the blue line. Garrett Milan looking for the first ever hat trick in Rock Lobsters history, home or away. Silky move there from Sam Turner. Doesn't pay off in the end. Long range clearance. Virgili tried to chase it down, but Coleman got there first. Sent up the far boards. Virgili picks it up. Finds Portillo. Shot from Coffey. Rather a save from Coffey. Virgili brought down to the ice, takes a look at the linesman as to say, where's my call? Cleared out by the Seawolves, drops right on the Rock Lobster defensive blue line. Portillo tries to shoot it down the length of the ice. New man for Mississippi, Zach Horn. Unable to create any problems on the forecheck, Justin Portillo. Gets in front of that pass from Don Carter Jr., who's holding his face. Didn't see what happened there. It was a quick interaction between him and Portillo. I didn't see anything come up towards Carter's face, but something made contact. Portillo stands up high on a heavy hit attempt from Philip Wong. And we've got a penalty upcoming. It's going to go against the Rock Lobsters. And this is dangerous here. Rock Lobsters will be down a man. So nearly the entire remainder of this game will be played a man down for the Rock Lobsters. Not sure what the call is there. Portillo kind of stood tall on an attempted hit from Wong. Maybe it went all the way back to that interaction with Don Carter Jr. I'm not sure, but either way, the Rock Lobsters head to another Leslie Jones Law penalty kill. No doubt Portillo is a repeat offender. Be good, but if you can't be good and you get caught in the penalty box, call Leslie Jones Law. So the Rock Lobsters have work to do here. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in this game. 2 minutes of it will be played with a Mississippi Seawolves power play. Portillo in the box. And the time has come. Coffey has been pulled. So 6 players on the ice for Mississippi compared to the Rock Lobsters 4. Let's see if the Seawolves are able to do anything with it. Empty net goal attempt is just wide, and it's going to go down as an icing. No, it won't. Must have took some sort of deflection that made that non-icing worthy. Stoya into the zone. To his left is Hippolyte Smith around the net. Back to the right side for Costello. Back to Hippolyte Smith. Back to the D-man Costello. He's already got a goal in this one. Seawolves looking to try and tie this up, but a brave shot block from Philip Virgili. Seawolves looking to tie this game up for the 3rd time tonight. Stoya, who tied it up at 2-2, with a great pass to the right for Costello. He tied it up at 1-1. Turner, long-range shot, took a deflection out in front from Dalton Anderson. 1 minute to go of play. Rock Lobster fans up to their feet trying to will their team. Garrett Milan, unselfish, knowing that he's on pace for a hat trick. He passed it to his right, however. Sam Turner trying to break the Seawolves out here. Is there one last gasp for the visiting team? Shot is well high, well wide. That's not going to cut it for the Seawolves. And now 27 seconds to go in this game. Rock Lobsters trying to hold on despite the fact that there are 6 players on the ice for the Seawolves and 4 for the Rock Lobsters, with Justin Portillo in the penalty box and Ed Coffey pulled from his net to add on the extra attacker. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout here. Rock Lobsters in line for their 10th win of the season. This would move them, since it's a regulation win, to 25 points. Mississippi Seawolves would stay on 10. Looking ahead for these two teams, the Seawolves will travel next weekend to Port Huron, Michigan to take on the Prowlers for 2 games. And the Rock Lobsters will travel to Columbus next Friday to take on the River Dragons at 7:35 p.m. You can find us here on the Athens Rock Lobster Network. Not on the radio, however. Only away games will be just stream only. I'll be making the trip to Columbus. Let's see how happy of a trip it'll be if the Rock Lobsters can close out this win and bounce back after that 6-2 loss against Carolina. Face-off won by the Rock Lobsters. Garrett Milan trying to fight for the puck, sends it towards the net. It's grabbed out of the air by Sam Turner. That would have exploded this arena, but then, how about this? The Seawolves commit the icing. That'll alleviate the pressure. Ten seconds to go. Ten seconds to go. Meeting of the minds here. No empty net anymore. Alden's just going to staple this puck toward the boards. Could be one last gasp here for the Seawolves. Shot from Costello gets blocked. And the Rock Lobsters make history once again. They've already been a history-making club. They get their 10th win and their first here at Akins Ford Arena. If it wasn't a party already, it's a party tonight here in the Classic City. Rock Lobsters win. The scoreline very, very close at the end of it. But the Rock Lobsters had the vast advantage in shots. Last tally that we had on the shot counter was 33-23. The Seawolves make their way off the ice. Once again, they'll travel to Port Huron to take on the Prowlers next weekend. The Rock Lobsters' next game is at Columbus, but we'll be back here next Saturday as well. The Rock Lobsters, for the first time, salute their home crowd. Everybody to their feet. And that brings us to our 3 stars of the night. First, going to Jack Bostad. Bostad didn't have a whole ton to do, but when he needed to step up, he made the right saves at the right time. 3rd star goes to Jack Bostad. 2nd star goes to Matt Garcia, who opened up play here at Akins Ford Arena, scored his first goal of the season, a long-distance shot that beat Coffey. Coffey never knew where it was. And then, with 2 goals tonight, he's already had several 2-goal games to his name this season. Garrett Milan is the 1st star of the night and the first star ever here at Akins Ford Arena. We'll be going back and watching this one over and over again, as I'm sure you will be at home. Thank you for tuning in here at Akins Ford Arena on the Athens Rock Lobster Network, whether it be on our YouTube channel or on the WGAU broadcast, WGAU and W254 CJ Athens, 98.7 FM and AM 1340 WGAU. We'll see you next time.